Ho ho, wrestling fans. This is the Fenceman, aka Santa Ref. I'm here to promote Icons of Wrestling this Saturday, December 18th, 2300 Arena in South Philadelphia. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to put up some flyers up next to show you guys who's all going to be in the house, as well as for Battlegrounds Wrestling later that night. You're not going to want to miss that as well. But up next, I'm going to put up some interviews that I've done in the past with some superstars that will be present at Icons of Wrestling this Saturday at the 2300 Arena, as well as an interview I did with Rob Feinstein and Tim Embler. This way you can hear from the two minds that put together Icons of Wrestling, so you can hear back to back what they have to say. So without further ado, let's get right to these interviews and some words from Tim Embler and Rob Feinstein, and get to check out some of the interviews of some of the wrestlers that you will see this Saturday. Peace.
Woo! December 18th, Philadelphia, Icons of Wrestling. Get together. One day, one night, the ECW Arena, December 18th, Philly. Woo! The Nature Boy with his new line of Roots of Fight. Sting, Big Sex, Double A, the best of the best, getting together for one night. You know me, I will be limousine riding and jet flying. I'll be kiss stealing and wheeling dealing. Rob Feinstein will be having a ride around the building 2 blocks long. The Nature Boy's coming back to Philly. Like I said, it's Charles Barkley, it's Allen Iverson, and it's the Nature Boy, Icons of Wrestling, ECW Arena, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Do not miss it, because the Nature Boy will be live and in color, signed autographs, Roots of Fight merchandise when they look as only I can look, bringing all the glory, all the strength, a 16-time Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun. Woo, there's kissed all the girls of Philly made them cry. Coming to you live, Philadelphia, Icons of Wrestling, December 18th, ECW Arena, 10 to 3, the Nature Boy. Woo, coming your way. Woo!
I'm here with Alicia Atout. How are you doing, Alicia?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Now, it's an exciting day today. Now, could you tell the fans how you got into the wrestling business?
Yes, so I've been a wrestling fan since I was about 2 or 3 years old. It's because of my dad, and I was doing music interviews for a while on YouTube for about 5 years. Then my dad said, you know what, this has become a success. Why don't you try doing wrestling since you're a fan? So I was like, why not? And then it kind of just propelled from doing interviews for my channel to signings to TV with companies, and now we're here.
Yeah, like what do you do for your channel?
So my channel's pretty much sit-down, long-form interviews with musicians and wrestlers. So it's just kind of having fun with people, shooting the breeze, not super serious. So
now, like, what are some of the wrestlers that you had on your show?
I've had everyone from Jericho to Nick Foley a ton of times, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, like anyone who I've kind of met in wrestling I've been able to have on, which is super gratifying. So yeah.
Now, what was it like having Kenny Omega on the show?
It was cool because he was one of my first big wrestling interviews when I was only doing wrestling stuff for about, I don't know, like a couple months. And when he said yes, I freaked out because I was like, he is the hottest thing in wrestling, and now he's going to sit down with the interview queen. So it was intimidating, but great. And since then, I've interviewed him multiple times, and he's awesome.
Now, how about the interview with Nick Foley that you did? How was that?
Yeah, I've interviewed Nick like 5 times. He's a friend of mine now, which is super surreal to even say. But he's amazing. I love Nick.
Okay. Now, how about some of the musicians that you've done interviews with? Anyone in particular that you've done that starts out to you?
I mean, for me, I always have to mention Metallica and Motorhead. When I was able to get them on, it was just like mind blown. They're 2 of the biggest bands in the world. So that was really gratifying for me.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to plug at all? Or you'd like to plug your channel so people can look you up? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can check all my stuff out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/amusicworld. blog, yeah, or just type up Alicia too. I actually announced some really exciting news the other day, which is that I'm now with MLW. So I'm going to be on MLW Fusion weekly on your TVs on BN Sports. So be sure to check that out. I'm so excited for my debut, and thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Fenstermaker here. I'm here with Gene Snitsky. How you doing today, Gene?
Fantastic. Just got done beating some butts here at SWF in Hazlet, New Jersey. I think we're Hazlet, right?
Yeah, Hazlet,
Yeah,
New
that's
Jersey.
right.
Yep.
We're in Hazlet, New Jersey.
Yep.
It's not my fault if you don't know that, but now you do.
Yeah, but what was your favorite match that you've been in your career as a wrestler?
The obvious answer is probably the one against Kane at Taboo Tuesday. It was my debut pay-per-view, which also happened to be on my mom's birthday, so that was kind of special. Loved working with Glenn. Always a pleasure. He was one of the easiest guys to work with, and just always enjoyed, being in the ring with a legend like Kane. So probably that would be the highlight.
All right, now can you tell the fans who gave you inspiration to be a pro wrestler?
As a 10-year-old watching WWE in Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania, I always just enjoyed watching Hogan. Hogan was like the larger-than-life character with the big persona and the amazing promos. And you're flipping through the channels as a 10-year-old and you're like, man, that's cool. I want to do that someday.
Now, how'd you train to become a pro wrestler?
I attended the Wild Samoan Pro Wrestling Training Camp in Allentown, Pennsylvania, run by the WWE Hall of Famer Afa Hawaii, which is now currently located in Florida, and his son, Samu, who helped break me into business, runs the camp in Allentown, and it's WSWC4.
Okay, now what are some of the highlights of your career besides being in WWE? I know, what are some of the highlights of your career leading up to that?
Just recently got inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Was first team All-State in football in high school. Did a full scholarship to the University of Missouri. Played a little bit of pro football before I got into WWE. So that's probably the highlight of my athletic career.
Okay. Now, you have any other shows coming up, or?
Just appearances, autograph signing, stuff like that. Unfortunately, with the pandemic going on, there's a lot of promoters that have canceled till 2021. So I lost out on a lot of bookings due to that. But 2021's right around the corner, so keep your eyes peeled for Snitsky. But in the meantime, check out my horror film, 100 Acres of Hell. We won the Best Feature Film Award at the Philadelphia Film Festival. And very proud of how that came out. You can check that out on all the streaming platforms. You can also follow me on Instagram, The Real Snitsky, and Twitter at Big Gene Snitsky, and keep up with all the activities that I got going on. You can also check out my shop, Priority One Surplus. It's in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. If you guys are ever in the area, stop by, say hello. PriorityOneSurplus.com, and keep your eyes peeled because you never know where I'm going to show up. And if you miss me, it's not my fault.
Awesome, man. Thank you for doing the interview, man. I'm here with Justin Credible. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing great. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good, man. Now, probably brings back some exciting memories being in this building.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it all started. Quite frankly, we helped build this building. When I came here in 1997, it was just a bingo hall, and now, if you really look around, it's multimedia. Arena. It's state of the art, all kinds of restaurants and television screens and, lights hanging up stage area. So it's amazing. And it really was a testament to what this building was and what it still is to the fans of pro wrestling.
Okay. Now, what was it like your run in WWE when you were with X-Pac in X Factor?
I really liked it. We gelled very well. We both didn't want to break up. But unfortunately, at the time, WWE had acquired WCW, so it was kind of our control. And Albert and X-Pac went to the WWE side, and since I was in ECW, I went to the Alliance side. So. Okay.
All right. Now, any other exciting memories that you'd like to share about from being in this building and with ECW in particular?
Yeah, I was talking to Shane Douglas, who I was sitting next to. I had one of my best matches here, and literally I did a spot with him where I ran him, put him on my shoulder outside, ran him head first into one of these pillars, and he didn't put his hands up, and the place actually rumbled. Hit him so hard. So it ended up being one of the best matches we had ever had. So that's just one of them. Another match I did with Lance Storm, one of my favorite tag team matches of all time. Lance Storm versus Gato and Jado from FMW in Japan. So it was just really, really great to be here. Great experience, and hopefully we can keep doing these and keep coming back.
What have you been doing for yourself lately?
Well, I've been wrestling every single weekend. Next week I'll be at WrestleCade. The last week of November, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I also do a podcast with Vince Russo, patreon.com/Russo TWC, reviewing AEW. And like I said, I'm booked all the time. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both under PJ Polacco. And go to ProWrestlingTees.com/JustinCredible. I got over 24 classic and brand new shirts as I'm wearing today, so go check all those out, man.
Okay, what's it like working with Vince Russo on the podcast?
I love working with Russo. I think he's amazing. He brings a writer's insight into it where I bring the wrestling insight to it, so we gel very nice, and it's a good time.
Okay, thanks for being on the show, bro.
All right, thank you very much, man. Have a great one.
Let's start with what are the prices for Ruby Soho. So see, all you have to do, it's really simple. You just scroll down and you look at posts that I make about pricing. And it's very simple. We have vendors coming in from all over the place, the finest vendors. I love every single vendor that's coming in to Icons. I love them all. And some of them have pre-sales. Some of them send us pre-sales, and they give me the links, and I post the links, and you guys can go buy tickets, and it's great. Some of them don't. And when you see a post, when I post Ruby Soho's official poster, and there's no prices, that means I was not given prices. Believe me, I want to give you the prices. But if I'm not given the prices, I can't tell you the prices. But if you are savvy, and you know the convention scene, you can figure out how much a roundabout these prices are going to be. She's been at other conventions. She's done other stuff. I'm guessing $40, somewhere along those lines. But if you bring a bunch of money, it doesn't really matter what anybody charges, because you'll have all that money in your pocket and you can spend it so as you see fit. Any word on Brit's prices? Brit, Ruby Soho, all the prices that aren't listed, it's all the same thing. Just bring a bunch of money. There's an ATM, there's credit and debit machines, there's all kinds of, just bring money. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If I'm not given the prices, I can't post the prices. Being a heel, I'm not being a heel. I'm not being a heel. I'm just saying that the overriding question is, how much is this guy? How much is that guy? How much is this guy? And you know what? If you got a whole wad full of money in your pocket, it doesn't really matter. Should we expect any surprise? Yes, Joey, there will be major, major surprises at Battleground. The biggest surprise will be if you guys make it out of there alive without a vampire attacking you. Because I'm being told now, I'm just being told, I can't confirm, but there are going to be other vampires in the building besides Gangrel and Kevin Thorne. So take that for what it is. Parking lot in front, but that usually gets filled. Then there's parking on the sides, and there's a parking lot in the back. Parking is not an issue. I mean, sometimes you might have to walk a couple blocks. The neighborhood is not bad. I know South Philly might have a bad rep, but South Philly's actually not bad. The Atlas will not be there. I love Ronnie, but he will not be there. A lot of hard work goes into these shows. They sure do, Richie. Nobody understands how much hard work goes in there. Well, maybe some people do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm working harder than a neurosurgeon, or I'm working harder than somebody is out there like delivering for Amazon or somebody from the post office. Those guys bust their ass. But it is a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, Enzo was a last minute ad. Sting Flair photo op together. That's another thing with dueling promoters. That if you're gonna do something like that, like Bubba and Devon or Sting and Flair, that has to be worked out beforehand, and it wasn't. I was on one of the Facebook pages trying to pre-order, and they said Flash Funk was going to be there, but it wasn't announced on the Icons page. Is he actually coming? Well, that's not true at all. So if you go to the Icons Facebook page and you scroll down, I had an announcement. I didn't announce them as Flash Funk. I announced them as Too Cold Scorpio. So if you're saying that Flash Funk won't be there and Too Cold Scorpio will be, I mean, I maybe I didn't announce Flash Funk, but I announced Too Cold Scorpio.
We initially trained with Joel Maximo in the SATs, and then we got seasoned by a pretty poor rumor from the Four Horsemen.
Okay. Now, what was it like working with the Four Horsemen?
Oh, awesome. I mean, he showed us the psychology of professional wrestling. And it was great.
Broke down tag team wrestling as being part of the Horsemen, also part of Pretty Wonderful and Power and Glory. He showed us how to gel together even more as a tag team, and gave us the psychology to work around the ring and make opponents work to us, work to our speed and our style, as opposed to us having to change and do things.
As of right now, we are the reigning PAPW Tag Team Champions.
743 days as the tag team champion.
Yo, this is Alan Fenstermaker here. I'm here with Rob Feinstein. Rob, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Cool, man. It's an honor to interview you, and I got some questions for you. So, anyways, how did you find your way as a scribe for professional wrestling?
I've been a wrestling fan all my life. Back in the 80s, I started watching wrestling in around 83. And I started up a video collection basically by getting the Wrestling Observer. At some time, maybe 4 years after I was watching the business, I learned about the Observer. And they had a reader's page back then where people were advertising videotapes from all the different territories. So I started putting my name in the hat pretty much and getting up a collection, trading tapes with different people in Memphis and Florida, and Japan and all that. And pretty much just built up my collection from that.
What was it like meeting Ric Flair in person for the first time?
It's funny. I've dealt with Ric Flair many times, and he's always been great. He's always been a professional. I've actually went down to Atlantic City to meet him one time, and got to ride in his limousine. And we had some soda in the back with him and his beautiful wife. And Ric's always been great.
What do you think the future of professional wrestling is?
Right now, I think the future of professional wrestling is going to be great. There's a lot of young talent out there. A lot of guys that are being used all over the country now have made it to NXT, so it shows promise to the younger guys, the smaller guys that are in the business, because you don't have many giants out there like you did in the 80s. So I think if you look at all the different companies, and I don't think the territories are coming back, but there's a lot of different companies all over the states now where guys are now being able to get to the next level. They're evolving, so to speak, and getting up to NXT and getting looked at from the the powers that be, which is, of course, the WWE, which is pretty much the major player right now in the United States. And, of course, we have AEW coming right down the bat.
How long have you been involved with the wrestling business for?
Too long? Is that a good answer? Yeah, too long. I've been doing this. I've been in and around the business my whole life. I started out just doing merchandise, and I was a kid. And the whole reason I like doing it is I just like to get into the shows early and meet guys and get autographs and stuff like that. When I was, late teens, early 20s, I would get a vendor booth and just to get in the show. I didn't really even sell anything or take it seriously. I just liked getting in early and feeling a part of things, and then it just kind of grew from there.
What are your thoughts on the new AEW?
I think it's going to be great. I think it gives an opportunity to guys that are not going to WWE yet, and it's a new platform for guys like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, where they don't have to, they don't have to go to WWE and make their money there. They can make money outside of WWE, and they prove that they can, and they're very smart at what they do. They know how to market themselves. So right now they have a great marketing campaign and background, and what they do on social media is amazing, how they're getting all their followers and fans. So I think they're going to be a big force to reckon with, and especially if they get a TV deal in October, which is the rumor. I think that they're definitely going to be a number 2 promotion in the States for sure. Okay.
Now, what promotions have you worked for in the past, or what's your favorite era or time period in pro wrestling history?
Oh, man. I've worked for just about every promotion in the Northeast, I think, at one point in time. My favorite company currently is PPW out of Hazleton, PA. Really good quality people that run that thing. It's not like you're going to a normal wrestling show. They take care of me. Feel like family out there. I really like that company currently. Of all time, I guess I'd have to go back to the Frank Goodman days of USA Pro out in Long Island. Those were some great shows. They used to get over at 2 in the morning, and Frank taught me a lot about the business. So I always have a special place in my heart for USA Pro back in the day.
Now, what made you decide to start Ring of Honor?
After ECW went out of business in 2001, there was a big void in the Northeast region for professional wrestling. We were going to indie shows in New York and New Jersey, myself, Doug, and Gabe Sapolsky was working for me at the time. And I knew there was a big void left. We learned the business from Paul Heyman and traveling around with ECW for all of those years. So I figured, and I guess it was a great idea, basically, that came about, because we wanted to pretty much take the place of ECW and present wrestling as a sport once again. And we pretty much came up with the idea. I came up with it, and I talked to Gabe about it. And at first, he didn't want to do Ring of Honor. He's like, oh, you're going to lose all your money. It's a bad idea. And I said, look, if there's anybody that knows wrestling, it's us three. Let's put our minds together, and let's do this. And we created the company called Ring of Honor.
There you have it, folks. You're not going to want to miss Icons of Wrestling, followed by Battlegrounds at the 2300 Arena this Saturday, coming up December 18th. And also, to all of you wrestling fans out there, keep your wrestling in a headlock. We'll catch you next time on Top Rope TV. And Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. Peace.
Bye.